Okay, so now we're going to get into the next piece of things. We're going to talk about getting a domain name and getting hosting. Now, the rest of this, I'm going to go through how to do a WordPress site. I'm going to show you how you can create one in just a few clicks, how you can get free templates, how you can have almost like instant sites. Even your own website could be almost instant. Client sites could be almost instant. I'll go over some of the plugins that you'll want to use and just kind of break that whole thing down. So everything from here on is WordPress focused because I think that's the absolute best thing to use. It's what you can charge the most money for, and it's what you can customize the most, and it's the only website platform where you're really going to totally own your website. So let's get into it. I'll just break down the different steps. Okay, so here we go. This is how you get your domain and how you do hosting. Now, I want you to know that most hosting companies, including the ones I'm going to recommend, they will give you a free domain. However, even though you should take them up on that offer, the primary domain you're going to use, don't get it from your hosting company. You just want to own that domain somewhere else, and it makes it much less of a hassle if you want to change hosting companies later. I just think it makes it so much easier. So everything that I do is on Namecheap.com. I own many domains through Namecheap.com. They're amazing, they're cheap, they're so simple to use, and they have great tech support. So this is what you do. You go to Namecheap.com, and then you're just going to click on here where it says search domain, and you're just going to type some stuff in, and we're going to see if it's available. I'm not going to go over how to choose a domain or how to pick your name because Ty Lopez covers that whole thing in the SMMA course, and I imagine a lot of people watching this are in that course. But I will tell you this, I chose mine to be social media expediters, and then when I ended up doing more digital marketing, SEO, and web design, having a name like social media expediters was kind of hard. So I would lean maybe towards things like, digital marketing HQ or, like fast forward marketing or full scope media or something like that, where it could be a lot of different things and you don't pigeon yourself in. However, some people will want to create a domain that's specific to their niche. So if you're only going to do marketing for food trucks, then maybe having something like foodtruckmarketing.com would be a great idea. At this stage, though, if you're just starting, you probably don't know. So maybe you could pick a more general name if you don't have a niche picked out yet. So anyway, just put something in here. So I could be like, amazing marketing, and I'm going to see if that's available as a domain. And then Namecheap's going to tell me. So they're going to tell me for amazing marketing, this is what I could get. Amazingmarketing.com is already taken. I could make an offer, don't bother with that. Or there's these other, what are called TLDs, top level domains, are available like .to or .ai. Don't bother with any of this. It's a total waste of time. You want to find something where you can get the .com. That's the most important. So if Amazing Marketing doesn't work, maybe Amazing Marketing HQ. Okay, that one's available. I'm not saying you should get that website. You can if you want to, but this will work. So then if I wanted this, I would just click Add to Cart. I know Ty in the course says that you should also, besides just buying the .com, you should buy the .net, the .org. If you want to, go ahead. I didn't, but it's your call. So then once you get this .com and you see it's less than $10, I'm going to go to View Cart. Now here with the domain registration, you definitely want to click Auto Renew, because if your domain expires, because it'll expire after a year if you don't have Auto Renew on, someone else could just grab it up, and then you're going to have to buy it back from them. And once they own your domain, it sucks because that's where all your customers are used to going. So you don't want to lose that. Put that on Auto Renew. You want to have WhoisGuard, and it's totally free forever. And that, you have to have that, because if you don't have that, then your address and your phone number and your name is all going to be public, and you're going to have dudes from other countries calling you all the time, soliciting you for digital marketing. I had one domain where I didn't do the WhoisGuard, and I just got calls like crazy for a month. It's so annoying. All right, so just these two things. This other stuff, skip it. You don't need any of this, so skip it. Okay, and so we're just going to do our domain. We'll click confirm order. We're paying $9. And then here, you could, if you have an account, you could log into it, or you could create an account and create a password. Anyway, you guys have bought stuff online before. I'm not going to go through the whole what it looks like to purchase it thing. But yeah, so that's how you get your domain. Easy. All right, now once you have your domain, I'm just going to give you some terms here. So your domain is going to be your actual website address. So like google.com, google.com is the domain. Or my company is Social Media Expeditors, and the domain is socialmediaexpeditors.com. Okay, so whatever people are typing into the browser to bring up your website, that's called your domain. And then that's bought through something called a registrar. Now, once you have your domain, then you also have to build a website, and a website is a bunch of files put together. And then those files go onto something called a hosting service. So you'll have a hosting company like Inmotion, GoDaddy, SiteGround. The hosting company actually houses all the files. So how this works together is you create a website, which is all these files. You put it onto a hosting company. And then for your domain, you tell Namecheap that when people type in Amazing Marketing HQ, it sends them to that hosting company where all those files for your website are stored. Does that make sense? So the domain is just the address. So someone types in the address into their browser, it gets directed by Namecheap to your hosting company, and your website appears. Your hosting company then takes all those files and puts them up for the visitor to see. So that's how all of this works together. So then the next part to talk about is hosting. Now that we have the domain created, let's go find a host. Now, the only hosting I use, and the one I recommend for everyone, is Inmotion hosting. You want to use Inmotion hosting. It's inexpensive. It's very high quality. You can see the things that are special here, that they have the SSD, which are solid state drive systems, which is where your files are all stored, and this is quicker and more secure. It has one-click WordPress integration, so you click, pretty much you put in your domain, you click one button, and it creates the WordPress site for you. It's really easy. And then it just has, everything's very simple to navigate. And the tech support, here's one of the biggest things. I used Bluehost at the start. The thing with Bluehost is anytime you get on tech support, you're calling someone, I live in the United States, I'm calling someone that's in another country where there's always a communication barrier. Now, I'm not being mean, it's just true. There's always like a communication barrier, the language is just a little bit different, and it's just a pain in the butt. Sometimes people were good, sometimes they weren't, sometimes they actually screwed up my site. But with Inmotion, I get nothing but high quality service. I'm always talking to someone in the United States that knows exactly what they're talking about and helps me really quick anytime. I call them at 2 in the morning sometimes, and I get great support. So I love Inmotion, and it's totally reliable, and it's fast, and it's quality, and it always stays up. I will show you, this is what you usually get if you go to Inmotion hosting. I worked out a deal with them, so if you look at these prices, and business hosting is what we'll actually use. If you use my deal, you see how that just jumped down like to about 50%. So if you're here, this is for normal pricing. If you go through my link, I worked out a special deal with them just because I'm one of their affiliates, and I knew that people were going to be using this. So you don't have to use my affiliate link, but if you do, you're going to save some money, and I really recommend using Inmotion. I would go with the business hosting. You can also do the WordPress hosting, but it's more expensive. I'll show you the business hosting very quickly here. So you'd go here, you click Learn More. It's going to take you to the next page. And then here, it has the different packages you can have. You could start with Launch, which is $4 a month. You're going to get 2 websites, unlimited space. They have email tools and all that. You'll get a free domain. That's fine. If you only have 1 or 2 websites, that's fine. I have many websites. So what I'm going to do is I use Pro. And Pro gets me unlimited websites. And remember, I'm charging my clients to host them. So I make way more money hosting them than my hosting company charges me to use the service. So I'm coming out way ahead on this. But if you're just starting and you have a really tight budget, go ahead, get the launch version, pay your $4 a month, buy it a year at a time because you'll save a lot of money and you'll be good to go. And then once you do this, you could just click order now. There, you go to order now. You want to get a year at a time. You could get 2 years, doesn't matter. Say you get a year at a time. Then it'll start going through the checkout process, and then it'll let you, what it's going to do is it's going to have you go through a couple stages here. It will ask you a couple questions, and you see that you're going to get an entire year's worth of hosting for $60. And you could have 2 different websites on that. Even the more expensive one is like only $90, I think, and that's for the unlimited. And then you can put like 50 websites on that. So it's kind of nice. All right, so the data center, just pick whatever's closer to where you and your customers are. Dedicated IP, that's not important. This web design, this is not important, save your money. And this content management system installer, yeah, you could click this if you want to, but it doesn't matter. Like they say, you can also do it later from the control panel. So if you want to, you could click install WordPress. It's fine, it's totally free. All right, and then if you continue, we're going to tell you, let's get a domain. And so then you could take them up on the free domain if you want to. You don't have to. You can use one that you already own, and that's fine as well. But it's for free, so hey, why not get an extra domain? If nothing else, you can build your demo sites on that. But I'll say I already own a domain, and let's say I'm not going to put mine in right here, but I would click continue, and it'll just continue to take me through a process, which will pretty much just be telling you how much you owe, reviewing your order, and checking out. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Like I've said, you guys have bought stuff before. You don't need to do this with me. Okay, so go get your hosting. Now, if you want an option, I only use Inmotion, but a lot of people also like Siteground, so I'll put a link for that. If I wasn't using Inmotion, I'd use Siteground. Just because the people who I trust talk about it so well. I actually used it a little bit when I was doing a training course, and it was good. It was really totally solid hosting. And everyone says good things about it, but Inmotion is just my game. This is what I'm always going to stick with. Okay. All right. So that takes care of finding your domain, getting your hosting. The next thing we're going to do is actually install the site. It's going to get really fast now. Okay. We're going to get really quick, get your site up, and probably in the next 20 minutes, you're actually going to have your website up. Okay. All right. So take care of this stuff, buy the hosting, buy the domain, and then click on the next video. Okay.